Today, from Soldier.
What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Here's Fields. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Throwing on third down, Fields. He gets this to Coulter complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. Going to be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. But if he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he powers his way up past the 30. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Rodgers. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete as well. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. And his kick is right there. It's good, and it's 3-0 Washington. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Now a give running left with Montgomery. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives, and it looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. On play action, Rodgers. A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They go back to Gordon here on first down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To throw is Rodgers. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. Now Gordon on first down. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. On play action, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, here's Fields. High throw, but he makes the catch. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now a first down throw, Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Able to push his way through. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now on 2nd and 13. Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
And not enough on the throw that time as that one is incomplete. Here comes the Bears punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll They'll spot it right at the 20.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Washington on third down.
They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is brought in at the 21.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
The Bears on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Montez Sweat able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Boy, left that first defender grasping at air as he winds up getting a full 8 yards on that play. On 2nd down, Gordon once more.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Thomas brings it in.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Washington with their first trip to the red zone thus far.
They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing is Rodgers.
And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Angelo Blackson. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. And that's complete. It's Sims. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
To throw, it's Rodgers.
Able to shake him off. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And that one not going to have enough height on it. Down around his feet, it's incomplete.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38.
And this one is right through. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now it's Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. To the air again, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, it's Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Fields going to hurry his guys to the line. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Santos' kick is up and through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, BG, thanks very much. The playoffs are underway. What a weekend this is going to be. The first of 6 games set to be played. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, time to look ahead to Sunday's action here in the NFC. A 4-5 battle that ought to be a tight one, as it's going to be one heck of a battle, that's for sure. Meanwhile, in our game, just a field goal separates these two sides at the break. One will go on to the divisional round, one will go home. To find out who it is, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39.
Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Eddie Goldman with a sack.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He gets it to Thomas. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll be a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
A 40-yard punt, no return. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. Rodgers' throw there complete to Sims.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They'll run on 1st down. Gordon. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Now Rodgers.
That's out to the flat for Gordon.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack.
Khalil Mack in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Another tote for Gordon. He's been busy this afternoon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 63 yards rushing for him now to this point. On 2nd and inches, Rodgers. Open man is Antonio Gandy Golden. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Rodgers now to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. He's to the 10. Quick slant to Brown. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Eddie Goldman picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. On 2nd down, it's Gordon. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And his kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So the lead extended, and I think at this point you say, hey, defense, take us to the end.
Well, if I got some good music to put to that, I could have a good country hit. I like the way you expressed yourself there. I think the offense has done enough so far. But like you say, if your defense is only giving up 3 points, makes it a lot easier to settle for field goals on this side of the ball.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 25 on 2nd down, Fields.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Fields now to throw. That's caught by Montgomery. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. To throw again on 2nd down. Fields firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 25-yard line. Fields on first down. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Throwing again is Fields. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Touchdown. Tyree Cleveland from 17 yards out. And the Bears have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Santos able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And this a very important drive leading in the 4th quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. 77 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. They run it here with Gordon. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a 20th carry, number 20 here for Melvin Gordon. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And that is very well done there, as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop, a man down on the return. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the 4th as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2nd and 9. To throw is Fields. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. The Bears on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Now Fields. He'll drop this one down to Cohen. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this one is incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress And I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
This is taken at the 18. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And here we go, partner. My palms are sweaty. These are the moments we wait for in the booth.
Oh, come on. I know when you were a kid you went through this, right? You know, there was always that one guy in the neighborhood who had the yard that was conducive to playing like this. I know I won many a drive at Billy Mosslander's house. So that's what he's got to draw on now. Go back to those good old days. Remember how it was and have some fun doing.
A little more pressure packed here in this drive, in this moment of the National Football League. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
A gain of 6 there on first. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Able to complete it to Montgomery, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. And this is going to be incomplete. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield. So they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they will score. A pick six for a Bears touchdown. Now the point after try for Santos. And with that, the lead is up to 8. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So Aaron Rodgers and his offense down by 8, a minute 4 on the clock. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Rodgers into the secondary past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. Rodgers to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw, Rodgers. Able to find Patterson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. He'll air this one out deep for Sims. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here we go on 4th down. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they will take a knee here. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. Harris now to return. It's hard to find solace on one side when the season ends, no matter where it ends, but especially in the playoffs because there's all that build up to the moment. But I would imagine the post-game locker room speech, it'll have a pretty positive spin.
It should. They've made a heck of a run to get to the playoffs and have that chance to advance, even though they didn't. But you're right about how much it's going to hurt.